Welcome, this is my YouTube course on how to make your first $1,000 from content. Today we're going to talk about how to make good money as fast as humanly possible. Also, you'll discover why the standard way of making money with content are so damn slow that you shouldn't even bother using them early on. Hi, my name is Jordan Parker. I'm the guy who creators come to when they want to scale their business, or when they're annoyed with the algorithm stealing all of their money. I know you want to skip to the good part and get to the best way of making money with content and just get going, but in this case I decided to include all of the ways you can make money from content, because even though you will focus on the best way, the other ways are still there and you should use and scale them because they will be very useful later down the line. So for any business to make any sort of money, somebody needs to sell something. In this case, for you to make any money, you need to sell something. The question is, what are you selling? And there are three correct answers to this question, and there are the three ways you can make money from your content. The first thing you can sell is you can sell your attention. You create content, this content attracts a bunch of attention, a bunch of people come to see that content, and then advertisers who have, something to sell, but they don't have the content, pay you money so you can show your audience their ads. And basically this is what platforms like YouTube automate. You just work with YouTube, they invite you to the partner program, they deal with showing the ads, finding advertisers, charging them money and all that jazz, and you just take money, which is very, very handy. And this is why this is a viable option for the future, because you just do your thing, you market your business and you get paid for it. This is amazing. Now, there's obviously a problem with advertisers, two problems in fact. The first problem is you can't control what advertisers actually do and say in their ads. YouTube can be running ads for gaming chairs, meat or dildos on your content, and you can't really control that precisely. And yes, even though your audience doesn't attribute all of that to you, they still get exposed to you and your brand and whatever YouTube is selling them at the same time. This might not be ideal. But the bigger problem why selling your attention is not that effective is because it doesn't pay that well. Obviously, advertisers want to make as much money as possible, then you need to pay YouTube, and there's a bunch of other stuff in producing the goods, so you are actually left with a very tiny fraction of the money being made in this process. But that leads us to the second and third ways you can monetize your content, which are both way better paid, and one of them is the perfect way for you to monetize early on and doesn't require any followers whatsoever. But before we get to that, I want to take a second and invite you to Creator Income. Creator Income is where I share all of the insights that I stole from billion-dollar companies on how to run the perfect business that I'm now using to help creators add 10, 20, 30k to their income without relying on the algorithm. And also you'll get notified for new videos in this series, which can be pretty handy as well. But that neatly leads us to the second way you can make money. You can sell your trust. And because trust is a lot more precious than just attention, selling your trust pays a lot better. But what does selling trust even means? It means that people come to you, they watch your videos and they start to like and trust you, and because they trust you, they are more willing to follow your suggestions. So if, for example, I suggested you that if you want my video quality, you should get the Lumix S5 version 2 because it is amazing and it has a flippy screen, and you get the idea. What that means, by the way, this is an example. I don't want you buying a fancy camera to make videos. You don't need that. If you want a proper guide on how to make videos, write me a comment and I'll make one. But that gives you an idea. Because people trust you, they're more willing to take your advice. And if you advise them to buy certain things, they're way more likely to buy them. And if I am somebody who has things to sell, I'll be very heavily incentivized to get some of that juicy trust you have with your audience, pay you a much better sum of money compared to ads, and get a bunch of people buying my products. Amazing. This is what sponsorships are. This is also what affiliate links are. And with sponsorships and affiliate links, you'll find two different problems. With affiliate links, you'll find that they don't pay that well because obviously it's a very low-hanging fruit, and Amazon and other affiliate companies exploit the hell out of that. And with sponsorships, the problem is actually bigger because you are connecting your brand to the sponsor's brand. What that means is that if your sponsor decides to start scamming people, some of those scammed people would be scammed because you told them to, which is very dangerous and obviously can ruin your brand. So when you're working with sponsors, you're always carrying some of that risk that if they go bad, you will be thrown under the bus with them. Now let's pause for a second. Even though I'm saying that selling your attention and selling your trust are not as effective as the last approach that we're going to talk about, yes, you should still use them because they are a very effective way of monetizing. Yes, you're not going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars when you have 200 people in your audience. There is no way this is happening, if you're sending 200 people to an affiliate link to buy a camera, maybe one of them will buy it. Maybe you get 10 bucks. Maybe you get nothing. It's not effective. It is very easy to implement, but it's also not very effective. So you use those approaches with due common sense, so you don't do something stupid and you don't associate yourself with someone stupid, but you should still use those approaches to supplement your income. And as time goes by and your audience grows, you'll start making more and more money from them, which is absolutely worth it because it's just free extra cash. Why not? But that brings us to the final and best part on how to make as much money as you can as fast as humanly possible. And this is selling your skills. What that means is that you take your skills, you package them in some way, and then you sell them to people. Now, there are 3 different ways to do that, and only one of them is the best. The other 2 ones are useful, but they're probably not what you will start with. So, approach number 1 to do this is obviously products. You can package your skills into creating a physical product, like a mug or a t-shirt, or into a digital product, like a course or a training, and you can sell that to people. That can work, and that can work really well, but to the same extent it suffers from the same problems that we mentioned so far. You need a lot of people to buy a $100 course for you to make significant amounts of money. It's just not that effective. So while courses again can be incredibly useful later on, you shouldn't start with them. You should start with one of the 2 other approaches. That leads to the second way you can sell your skills, which is you can sell access. What that means is that you give people access to you, to your thinking, to your problem solving, and they use that access to help them do something. For example, in Secret Level, I give my clients access to my thinking, access to my Slack, and access to weekly calls in which we solve all of their business problems. What that does for them is they compress the time they need to grow their business, they grow their business faster, make more money, and they're happy and everyone is happy. Or another example can be the membership program on YouTube. People pay you some money so they get access to even more of your content and even more of your knowledge. Or people can pay you so they can text you on Telegram and you can give them training recipes. Even OnlyFans technically sells access to the creators there. Now, selling access is harder to do because people actually can bug you than just selling products, but it is way better paid because people get specific help for the specific problems that they're facing and not just a generic course. But if you look at selling products and selling access, they both share the same problem. They're a lot of work for the person buying. When I come and buy your product, I need to take it, learn it, and then I need to do the work. So I do the learning and I do the work, and the only thing that you're providing is a product. That is not as valuable as me not working so hard. So of course this is the lowest paid option. When I buy access to you, I'm still doing the work, but you're there supporting me in some way or form. That is more valuable to me because you're doing a much bigger chunk of the work, and of course I'm willing to pay more money for that. But there is an even better way that makes even more money and makes it faster. So fast in fact that my partner closed her first 5-figure deal when she had like 250 followers. It is insane how much money you can make from this, and at the same time it doesn't require any sort of a following whatsoever, as long as you follow the last video and you're actually in conversations with your audience. That last way is selling services. You take your skills, you package them into a service, and then you sell that. The benefit of that, obviously, is that people come to you and then they buy the work. They don't need to learn anything, they don't need to do anything, you just come in there and solve their problem for them. It is the easiest approach for them, and that's why it pays the best. Because people who have money don't have time, and when you're selling them a service, you're taking some of the money that they already have a lot of, and you're giving back their time, which they have very little of. So when you package your skills into a service, it is the easiest thing to sell, because by definition it's finding people who want a service and want the work done for them, which is usually people who have capital to invest in you. And because this is the easiest thing for people to do, it's also the best paid thing for you to sell. So the result of that is that you can make one sale and already make your first $1,000. And it is absolutely possible for you to spend 2-3 weeks getting to know your audience and find your first client and make your $1,000 from this one single client. Heck, you can make 5 figures from your first client if you do a good enough job with your service. So stop thinking in terms of tiny affiliate commissions or small product sales and think big. Think what kind of a service you can offer your perfect audience that you just found from the last video and help them so much that they're willing to pay you $500, $1,000, $2,000 for that. And when you do that, you'll make your first $1,000 so fast that no other approach can even compete, because you need far less work and far fewer sales to do it. And yeah, that's the whole video. If you missed any of the last videos, you can go below and find all of them. And if you want to see the next video, which is going to be about how to get people to want to buy your service, to want it so much that they will be throwing money at you, then you should go below and find the link to that. Or if it's not out, you should join Creator Income or just wait a couple of days. It will be on YouTube soon. Ciao!